All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. It is Sunday morning. Daylight savings time has kicked in, so we lost an hour of sleep. I woke up thinking it was like 8 o'clock, and it was actually, no, yeah, I thought it was 8 o'clock, it was actually 9 o'clock. And then when I got out of bed, it was 10 o'clock, but it actually felt like 9 o'clock. Anyway, I'm all messed up, but I feel great. Couple cups of coffee. Let's do a video. Okay, we're going to start off in the USA BMX Grand Nationals 2024. This is Barry Noble's footage, and I wanted to take a look at a couple things. Now, Barry, in one of the rounds, he takes a really bad crash, and it's so weird because he's doing the typical Barry Nobles thing, great start, explosive first straightaway. He hits this jump and he gets sideways. It's really an awkward fall, and it could have pretty much ended it all for Barry for the day. Definitely could have ruined his chances at the title. Let's take a quick look though. There's Barry saying hi to his daughter. Okay, here we go. So, Moto 3, we're at the Grands. Again, this is 2024. So Barry gets out quick. So Barry and Jeff Upshaw were going back and forth all weekend. But watch this. Whoa! Bam! Look at this crash. Check it out, guys. He gets completely sideways and goes down. It's the weirdest thing because if you look at the way he fell, he couldn't unclip. So let me go back for a second. You can see where he knows he's about to fall, but he can't stop himself from falling, and he can't turn himself. You can see right there he's turning sideways. Let's look at this angle. Right there. So you can see in this photo right here, he's already starting to get sideways. His feet are still clipped in. This could have been really horrible for Barry, and he's pretty high up there. If you look at the gentleman standing there in the black t-shirt and the blue jeans, look where his head is and look where Barry's back wheel is. So it kind of gives you an idea of how high he was. Bam! Then he goes down. Let's take a look at it right here. Right there. There's not much he can do now except fall. And we've all been in that situation where you know you're going to go down and there's nothing you can do. And Barry was in a really, really awkward position. I'm glad he didn't get hurt. He did end up finishing the day, which was great. We might as well take a look at Barry's main events now. So the pros had to run 3 times at the Grands. And I didn't know this, but it's strange. So I guess when you get to the main event finally, you have to select. Well, they gave all the riders an option to select their lane choices, but they gave them all at once. So you can say, I'm going to have lane 1, 3, and 7. So you get to pick whichever ones you want. And so Barry picked his lanes. I can't remember which ones he picked, but it looks like he's in lane 3 right now. So we're going to take a look at his main events. We saw this before, but I get to see the POV from Barry's videos. Plus, we'll see some of the USA BMX footage as well. They're really cool. So as Barry has gotten into the Vet Pro class back when we had COVID, it's been super interesting, and a lot of faster guys keep going into Vet Pro. So it's just as exciting to watch Vet as it is to watch Elite and Women's Pro. In this one, we got Barry, Tanner Sebesta, and I believe Upshaw again. So these 3 are going to battle. Let's take a look. Let's go. So Barry gets out quick, but I see the wheel on his inside, and there goes Upshaw. So he gets swooped, and then there goes Sebesta. Here's the actual footage. So he gets squeezed out right there, and now Barry's sitting 3. So he's going to work his way through the pack. But Barry's on the hunt. You could say he stays calm, he stays composed, and he's going to look for his opportunity, which is right here on this straightaway, which is perfect. Well done, well executed, and now he moves in the second. So Upshaw's, meanwhile, taking care of business, so it's best for Barry to follow him around. There's nothing he can do. He just ran out of track. So that's a great first round. The second round. This is Barry's second round at the Grands, and he's looking really good. He's already got a second. So this one's a little strange because what happens is Jonathan Suarez actually gets in the mix a little bit early in the race. So he's sitting 2, which kind of bogged down some of the riders behind him. They get around Jonathan, Sebesta does, and by the time these guys are sorting their passes out, Barry is just completely gone. So this round is completely different. He just blows this one away. Let's take a look at it. Let's go. Okay, so Barry gets a good pop. You can see right here. Now Jonathan's in the black and yellow. So you can see he gets out. He's on the inside. And he kind of, right there, he bogs down the pack. In the meantime, Barry's like, ooh, I'm out. That's my opportunity. And you can see he's just flowing through the pro section, no problem. Barry's just doing nothing but picking up speed. Nobody's in his way. And it's really apparent because look at, he's on his own. There's nobody near him. Okay, I think that's Upshaw now trying to work his way through the pack. Now he's sitting 2. Sebesta sitting 3. And so Barry locks that one down. So it's going to be interesting going into the 3rd round. Let's check it out. Barry's 3rd and final round. He's looking pretty good. So he's got the 2nd and he's got a deuce. I'm sorry, he's got the deuce and he's got the ace. And then unfortunately, it's kind of the same thing for Upshaw. He's sitting with a 2nd and a 1st too. So going into this last round is pretty interesting. But Alan Hudson, he gets in there and he mixes it up. He throws off all the math. Lack of a better term in this one. But this is a great race. Barry's sitting, it looks like lane 1. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. So you can see Hudson number 6. He's got a pop, but Barry kind of outpowers him into the 1st straight. Going through the 1st turn, we got Barry sitting 1, Hudson sitting 2, Upshaw sitting 3, and Barry's looking good. So at this point, Barry can finish 1st or 2nd. He's okay, but you know he's not going to let go. He wants to finish strong. Through the pro set, Hudson looks like he's losing a little steam, but he's still looking okay. I think he's going to hang on to that. Look at Tyler Brown sitting 4th, looking good. And there you go. So Barry wins that one, wins the title, and we all know what happened next after that. So that was a great round. I love looking at Barry's channel. I pretty much watch him every Friday. I look forward to Barry dropping a video. Anyway, let's move on to something else, guys. All right, guys, let's check this out. So I frequently go to Rad BMX builds. I love watching Sean's stuff. And this is something that I thought was really, really cool. So Mongoose has re-released this Super Goose. So this is kind of like a 90s version of the Mongoose bicycle. And this is what it looks like in its stock form. I'm just going to mute Sean for a second. But if you take a look, Sean's going to build this bike. But Sean's not the type of guy that builds a race bike and leaves it completely stock. He likes to put his own flair on it. And you can see he's selecting some parts here that he's going to swap out for it, and he's going to change the whole color combination of this bike. In its stock form, if you were to buy this, it's beautiful. Like, I would love to have one of these and just have it sitting in my office, but you can see he's already reconfiguring how everything's going to go. You see all the decals he's going to use. I don't believe he used that pad set, but let's fast forward for a second so you can see what the complete build looks like. I thought it was really cool. You can actually see the bike has been powder coated in black. So what he's doing is he's transforming the Super Goose into I guess it was a Mongoose Pro class. And you can see now it's all blacked. It's blacked out. He's going to add the blue components. I think he gets support from Amy grips, so he always goes with the Amy grips. And everything's coming together really well. And with the new pad set, you can see it on the bottom there. It's going with the black pad set. I love that Cashimax seat with the blue and the chrome. Let's see what the finished product looks like. But those pads are awesome. So this bike is great. I love looking at Sean because he's got such a great eye for detail. This guy's eye for detail is insane. I was actually watching a video on him the other day, and he actually lines up the logo on the tire. So let's say it says Tioga on the tire. He lines it up with the stem cap. So everything is symmetrical. The detail is just insane. This guy's amazing. Let's take a look at the finished product. Now you can see the whole bike looks completely different. It was like this candy apple red version, and now it's black and blue. I love the Pro Class wheels on there. They're not fully polished, but the silver looks great. I love the handlebars being black. Here's what it looked like in its stock form. So this is what you would expect to get, and look what he did with it. Just amazing. The blue tires popped. You know, I'm not really much of a colored tire guy, but to correct myself though, back in the 80s, yeah, I ran a lot of blue tires. I love the blue snake bellies. I used to run those quite a bit. But once I started moving into like the Comp 3 style tires, I kind of got away from the colored tires, but it really, really pops here. Let's take a look at it. I think he's going to pull it outside, so let's take a look. Get outside, but you can still see the finished product here. Man, that black power disc against that chrome chain wheel looks really cool. The Amy Tri grips, the Diacomp brakes, everything in blue. The black and the blue combination is really, really cool because I think with the modern rider, the tendency is to try to make everything black and have very little color. But I like how Sean does it really understated, but it's not understated, but it's just the perfect amount of color. The thing that stands out the most is the tires, but other than that, it's very, very subtle and it looks nasty. Look at the valve stem cap with the Mongoose logo on it. And this is the type of detail that you would expect to see from this guy. Everything is meticulous. I'm pretty sure, I think he either gave this bike away or it sold. I believe it's sold, if I remember right. I know he had a giveaway bike, and I don't know if this was the one or not. But anyway, I thought that was really cool. Okay, guys, let's move on to something else. Take a look at this build. This is a 1983 Diamondback Silver Streak. It's on the channel is called Drift HQ LSD Lasers Paul. This was dropped 10 years ago, and I just happened to find it. 18,000 views, so a lot of you guys like this video. Let's take a look at it. So this is typical what you would see in the 80s. This bike is done really well. Check out the wheels. Those look like a Reyes 7X. I love the chrome and gold. Look how it pops the Diamondback stickers on there. Oh wait, let's stop right here. Check out, let me back up. I love this angle of this shot. Let's take a look at this. He's got, the pads are actually vinyl pads that are snapped. And look at the chain is gold. Let's stop right here. This is such a beautiful angle of the bike. You can see it's got that gold chain on it, chrome 3-piece cranks, and those gold pedals. Those are, those are Diamondback pedals. It's kind of hard to see in this video, but on the cages they look like little diamonds on there, and the loop tail is nasty. I love the chrome trim on the Arraya 7X. I'm not sure what kind of hubs those are, but look at the pad set. It's got snaps on it, so that's straight from the late 70s, early 80s, very early 80s, because most, I think it was around 83 when we started moving on to the Velcro style type pad sets. But let's keep going on this video. It's only about 25 more seconds. Look at the detail on this build. This is this bike is awesome. Front and back brakes, and it's got the, it looked like it had the Oakley B1Bs on it. If you go back really quick, let's take another look. Oh man, this is well done. Those tires have never been rolled. Look at it, they still have the nipples on the on the Comp 3s. That is awesome. Great, great build. Okay guys, let's move on to something else. All right guys, so we're at 1995. We're at the BMX World Cup, and this is the pre-race for the A Pro motos. And this is from the BMX Archive, which is Corky Gainsford's channel. I love going to his channel because if you're ever just looking for races and you're tired of hearing me talk, you can go into his channel and there's just tons of footage. But anyway, this is the pre-round. This is round one. We're going to see Cecil Johns. He's wearing the Extreme colors. There was a, I remember that race product. It was called Extreme. They had some really loud colors. It was really cool combinations of kits you can buy. He's going to get the snap on this one. I think Corky's going to be sitting 3 in this one, and then in he leaves on Factory GT. He's looking really good in this race. Let's take a look. I love the GT logos in the background. That's one of my favorite logos for GT. You can see the orange and black right there. That's Corky because he's Factory Power Light. Let's go. All right, so Cecil gets out quick. And Cecil has, his riding style is really similar to Terry's, so he likes to lean back and pull. So Cecil's sitting 1, and then in he's sitting 2, and then here comes Corky. Corky slides into the 3 spot, running the spin wheels. It looks like in he is as well. Oh yeah, he's definitely running the spins. And it's all Cecil Johns on this one. They're focusing on Corky because it's his video, obviously. But there's Cecil. Look at the square number plate. And then he was running. That's awesome. All right, let's move on to something. All right, guys. So we're still in 1995. We're at the World Cup pre-race. This is round 2. Corky picked up the 3rd in the first round. And this one, it's strange because we have a Australian rider that comes out of nowhere. I think they said his name was Struce. I couldn't really quite tell. But he looks really, really good in this round. Let's take a look. Let's go. So Corky gets out pretty quick. He's stuck in the middle of the pack. He's got a slight lead, but here comes the Australian rider. Yeah, they say his name is Struce. So he sits 1. Corky's sitting 3, but he's going to work this guy. That's a nice pump right there. Over the doubles, he makes his move. So now he's sitting 2. So Corky's looking great. Meanwhile, the Australian rider is kind of doing his thing. I think this is where we're on the verge of seeing where a lot of the foreign riders kind of take BMX racing to the next level, whereas the U.S. riders typically would dominate BMX racing. It's starting to make a shift now, as you can see in the 90s, where these guys are just simply catching up to us. Great round, though. Let's third round here at the pre-race at the World Cup. And so far, the consistency really goes to Corky in this one because he's got a third, he's got a second. He's looking really good. Now, this time around, Mike Hayek gets in there. He gets a really, really good pop. Mike was a local at Sonol BMX, big fan of Mike's. And then we had Inhee Lee kind of took over. So it was Mikey was kind of stuck in between a firm sandwich because he had Inhee sitting 1 and Corky sitting 3, and he was stuck in the middle of those guys. It's actually kind of a cool final. Let's run this A Pro. This is the third round, 1995 pre-race World Cup. So A Pro, just a reminder, is kind of the rookie pro class. These guys were getting ready to make that jump to double A. Let's go. So Mikey's on the far inside. He gets an excellent pop. He gets the snap on Inhee Lee. So Hayek sitting 1, and then Lee sitting 2. Here comes Corky sitting 3. Corky's really smooth through that section, so he picks up some ground. So get in there, Corky. All right, meanwhile, Inhee already has passed Mikey, so Mikey's now coasting, sitting 2. And he's stuck behind Inhee. I don't think he's going to pass him at this point. And here come the Spin Brothers. Inhee and Corky. But Mikey's holding his line. And that's a wrap. Let's move on. All right, guys, so we're still in 1995, but now we're at the Pro Super Cup. So this is at the Grands. So this is the day before the Grands, I'm assuming. And this is one of the pro motos for the Super Cup. This race is awesome because Charles Townsend, as we all know, super powerful rider. If Charles gets out in front, there's very little chance you're going to get around him. But Brian Foster, he's such a natural athlete. Great jumper, great racer. He's kind of the whole package. He's super patient, and you can see in this race, he's setting up Charles over and over until he finally can get him at the end. It's actually a really good race, and this is just a moto, but it's just an awesome race. Let's take a look. $1995 Super Cup at the Grands. A little blurry, sorry guys. Let's go. So you can see Charles gets out right away. He's got the snap. I see Ellis sitting out there. But look at Ellis and Foster are kind of even, but Foster pulls him. Look at that jump. So that's where he picks up a lot of ground. See, now he draws even with Charles. And then he's trying to high-low him right here, but Charles keeps him on the outside. So Charles takes up a lot of real estate. You just can't go around him. But here comes Brian. He's going to try to reel him in right here. Here we go. Now watch this move. He goes up high, down low. Oh, what a move as they move into the final straight. And he got him. That was, guys, because we see a lot of main events. So when I go back and I watch the motos and the rounds, it gives me an opportunity to see some of the greatest racers of our time going at it. And this is still 1995. We got Foster again, Townsend, Lopes. And Mr. Greg Hill is still in there, factory redline. He's going to pick up a third in this round, which is really impressive because at this stage, it's 1995. So Greg's is definitely a senior pro at this point, but he's still in there mixing it up. And Hayek is going to get a great snap out of this one, but let's run this race and take a look at it. Here we go. So Hayek has got a good pop. Now look at Lopes. Lopes is on factory Mongoose. Reynolds is in there as well. But you could see Lopes is already rocking a full face helmet. So that's our future right there. What a move by Lopes. He gets right past Hayek. So now he's taking control. Oh, Reynolds is sitting 2. Excuse me, guys. That was Reynolds. But look at the red line rider in 3rd is Greg Hill himself, sitting 3. Great run, great run. Moto in this one, it's Jamie Staff. He's on Factory Haro, and he gets a killer snap out of this one. Dale Holmes is Factory GT, and Dale's going to give him a run. So we got 2 foreign riders here at the Super Cup at the Grands just going at it in this round. Let's take a look. Let's go. So Dale's on the GT colors. He gets out pretty quick, but Jamie's going to outpower him into the first turn. So now it's Factory Haro, Jamie Staff, and he's going to pull right here. Ooh, good jump for Dale in the background there. I cleared that. Look at Staff running the vans. I love that, man. Those Factory Haro colors were pretty sick back then. They were just a whole bunch of colors just smashed together. It was a really cool kit. So Jamie makes quick work of that one. That's a great round. He's all alone. Yep, here comes Dale. Okay, and the rest of the guys. All right, let's move on to the next set. Moving on to the next round. These motos are stacked. There's a lot of fast pros at this 95 Super Cup. And this one's interesting because there's a couple key things here. Corky's in this one. Corky's going to really go at it. And we got Wade Boots in there. He's looking really good. He was Factory Redline. And the interesting thing is Billy Griggs is in here. So it's 1995. So remember, Billy's been a pro for a little while now, but he's running GT colors. And I believe he was an employee of GT back then. And he put a lot of input on the design of the GT bikes the GT race bikes back then. And some of the stuff from the 90s is super trick. I had a 98 GT box series frame and fork, and man, that bike was just awesome. I raced it in 2012 and didn't have any issues with it. As a matter of fact, it was super light, super stiff, super fast, and I was kind of sad I sold it. But anyway, let's take a look at this round. Let's go. Okay, so the Powerlight colors, we know that that's going to be Corky. Okay, that's Jason Carnes actually sitting 1. Wade Boots sitting 2. He gets in there. Oh, no, Corky swoops him. Okay, so Corky's sitting 1. Boots sitting 3. I think Billy's sitting 4. Okay, here comes Billy. So Billy's drawing even with Wade, but he couldn't get around him. This is a great round. But Carnes is hanging on for dear life. He's like, nope, not giving this up. Corky's doing his thing. Mr. Consistency sitting 2. Oh, I don't know if Boots got him, but that was a great round. All right, this round is really cool because Christophe Levesque still on Sun Chippy. He's really looking fast. And Christophe kind of dominated the 90s, man. He's one of the highest paid BMX racers that I know of back in the day because he had a crazy contract with Specialized Bicycles. But he's still Sun Chippy here. And then on Balance Sports, we had John. John was sitting in there going at it with them, and it's a really, really good battle with these two. Let's take a look at this round. Let's go. So you can see John Purse is sitting 2, but check out the way Christophe attacks the track. It's like he's not even worried about who's behind him. He's just looking straight ahead. He doesn't turn around ever. He's just looking at each obstacle and attacking it. The way he navigates the track is really, really impressive. He just never turns around. And the tendency to want to look over your shoulder to see who's coming, it's hard to not do that. That's just speaking from experience. I never raced at this level, but you guys know what I mean. Good work. Let's move on to the next one. Oh my gosh, guys, the level of talent at this 95 Pro Super Cup is insane. Danny Nelson is in there. Jason Richardson's in this one. I mean, we've looked at nothing but superstars all the way through. The pro motos were absolutely stacked, and we're not even doing the grands yet. This is the Super Cup. This is pretty cool. Anyway, let's run this one. Let's go. See, Jason Richardson gets out quick, but Danny Nelson outpowers him as they move into the first turn. Danny is all about business, never really a super flashy rider, just a straightforward, straight power rider, which I really liked about him. So he's factory power light, so Danny's sitting 1, Richardson's sitting 2. I'm not sure who's sitting 3, guys. Oh, look at Danny do his thing. Like I said, it was just a stack day of pros. And these are all double A's, guys. Awesome. All right, guys, we're still at the same race. We're still at the, but now we're in the semis. So this is where stuff starts to get serious because now these guys got to make it to the main. They're taking 4. Now, I've seen the mains in a previous video, so we probably won't watch those today, but we're going to take a look at the semi. So again, we got a stack semi, but there's an S&M rider in here that is going to go in there and kind of spoil it. And I didn't quite get his name, so we're going to try to hear it. Let's take a look. There's John Purse, Balance Sports. There's Jamie Stafford Haro. I think he'd say his name is Carter. All right, anyway, let's go. Let's see what happens. Again, sorry it's a little blurry, guys, but it's pretty decent for a videotape, I should say. Let's go. Okay, so Levesque's going to get the pop. Is that John? Yep. Okay, there's the S&M rider. Look at that. He slid in second. He's like kind of the spoiler. Okay, there's John. Who's sitting 4? Oh, Staff's sitting 4. Oh, Carter is his, no, so you're saying his name is Carter. Oh, and there's your main event. Your first half of your main event. Let's go see what the next semi looks like. The second set. So this is for the second set for the semi. We're taking 4. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Got a GT rider in front. Oh, no. That's Lopes. So it's Lopes and it's Holmes sitting 2. I think that's Wade Boots sitting 3. So we got Lopes, Holmes, Boots. Ooh, who's the 4th place rider? Oh, Polkamp. Oh, okay, Polkamp sitting 4. Oh, I think Holmes took over. Yeah. Oh, no, Holmes sitting 2. Okay. Brian Lopes was gone in this one. That was a great round. Okay, guys, let's move on to something else. All right, guys, let's go back a couple years. So we're in 1992, excuse me. We're in the Las Vegas Nationals. My best guess is this is going to be an ABA race, but this one's really cool. It's a AA Pro main. Gary Ellis, Brian Foster, they're going to kind of go at it in this one. No, not Brian Foster, Brian Lopes. He's on factory Mongoose, but I got to tell you, man, in the early 90s, Gary was the absolute man. Let's take a look at this. Let's go. Ellis has got the pop. Brian's going to slide in the second. Oh, look at him go. It's all Gary. I want to say that Billy Griggs is going to slide in the third here. He's on factory Haro. Ooh! Gary slid out a little bit, but he maintained. That's kind of a flat turn, so they almost come to a stop right there. That's kind of a trip. Yeah, it's definitely Griggs sitting 3. Look at Billy's gaining some ground. Oh, can he make a move? Oh, that's how they're going to finish. Great round. Great round. All right, guys, so we're still at this 1992 Vegas National. This is the A Pro main event. So in the late 90s, mid 90s to late 90s, there was a few number of what we would call our former AA pros that kind of reclassified to A Pro because they were still fast, but they weren't quite fast enough to mix it up with the AA's. Eric Root being one of them, and I know Harry Larry was doing it as well. As a matter of fact, I saw Harry. I was at a race in 1999. I was at the Spring Nationals at the time in Santa Clara, and Harry was 40 years old racing A Pro, and he was looking good. So, I mean, that just goes to show you, these guys are kind of inhuman. But anyway, this is the main event. Eric Roop is going to be looking really good. He's going to fight it out with Jason Donnell. Jason was on Factory Redline. Unfortunately, he's going to go down. It's actually a really cool race. The thing that kind of throws me off a little bit is it looks like he's actually running Haro colors, which I thought was kind of strange. Anyway, let's take a look at the race. Here we go. Look at the pop from Eric. Look at it. So it looks like Donnell sitting 2, Factory Redline. He's going to try to make a move on Eric right here. He pulls on the inside. And then, oh, he goes down. Oh, more riders go down. So that just opened up the door for Eric. Eric is going to do his thing. I have no idea who the other 2 riders are. I do see a free agent rider sitting 3. Eric is gone. You can't even see him in the frame anymore. There he is. Eric did his thing, 1995. All right, let's move on. Let's wind down the video now. I've looked at this commercial before, but I couldn't help it. It's just so goofy. I had to watch it again. So it's the Keds BMX TV commercial from 1982. So Keds was a manufacturer of shoes, and they had their own line of shoes that looked very similar to Vans. As a matter of fact, at first glance, you would think they were Vans. I even owned a pair of these. They were a lot cheaper than Vans back then. But anyway, let's take a look. And Eddie King is in here. He's actually one of the riders in the commercial. It's really, really cool. Let's take a look.
The new wave is coming. The new wave is here. The XL from Keds. The color.
There's Eddie.
The style. The look. The XL from Keds. The colors excel. The styles excel. The looks excel. The XL from Keds. The Keds excel. The new wave is here.
Man, things were way different in the 80s, huh, guys? This is a great shot of Eddie, although they cut his head off. I did the best I could to get a still photo of him tearing it up on his Diamondback, factory Diamondback. This is a great, great commercial for what it was. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll be back next week. We're going to be doing a magazine review. Looking forward to that one. But other than that, you guys have a great week, and I'll see you soon.